Kingdom Insight, Episode 6, When Leadership Gets Heavy. Welcome to Kingdom Insight with Dr. L.K. Leonard, raising saints back to God through clarity, structure, and spiritual authority. In Episode 1, we talked about why leaders drift. In Episode 2, we talked about restoring alignment. It was in Episode 3 that we talked about protecting ministry culture. It was in Episode 4 that we talked about guarding leadership disciplines. It was in Episode 5 that we talked about leading without losing yourself. But today we're going to talk about and deal with something every leader experiences, and that's the weight of leadership. Because leadership is not just about influence, it's about responsibility, expectation, pressure. It's carrying things that others really don't see. And if you don't learn how to carry the weight will begin to carry you. And so today we're going to talk about when leadership really gets heavy. See, leadership, first of all, comes with weight. 2 Corinthians 11:28 is the daily pressure on me of my anxiety for all the churches. See, Paul was just not preaching. He was carrying people, churches, and responsibilities. And leadership always comes with weight. A lot of times people just think it's about the influence. It's about the notoriety. It's about the popularity. But in reality, leadership comes with weight. And if you want influence, you must prepare for the responsibility. Everybody wants to influence, but nobody really they don't want the responsibility of what comes along with the leadership. They want the influence, but they don't want what comes along with the influence. See, weight shows up as decisions that affect others. Weight shows up as pressure to lead well. Weight shows up as responsibility for outcomes. Weight shows up for concern for people. And see, the problem is not the weight. Hear me and hear me good. The problem is not the weight that shows up. The problem is when the leaders are not prepared to carry it. Let that soak in. The problem is a lot of times when leaders, they want the responsibility and influence, but they're not prepared to carry the weight that comes along with it. But here's something I want you to know, and here's something I want you to understand, that if God trusts you with the assignment, he also trusts you with the weight that comes along with the assignment. When God gave you the assignment, he knew that it was going to come with weight. He knew that it was going to have weight. But if he entrusted you with that assignment, then he trusted you with the weight to come along with it. So you have to learn that it's not just about the influence that you're going to have from the position or whatever, but the leadership that you have comes with weight. A lot of people want leadership. They see you doing it as a leader and they think that they can handle it. But the reality is they don't want the responsibility and they don't want the weight that comes along with it. The second thing is that pressure reveals what kind of foundation you build on. Matthew chapter 7 and verse 25 says, the rain fell, the wind blew, but it did not fall because it had founded on the rock. In other words, it's talking about the house. One man built his house on rocks and one built his on sand. But when the rain fell and when the wind blew, if you go back and read Matthew chapter 7, 25, Matthew chapter 7, we've all saw that chapter before. It talks about the pressure that comes when it's put on a foundation of your house. When you put pressure on it, that's when your foundation is tested. So the pressure gonna reveal what kind of foundation you can't have. Pressure doesn't create instability; it reveals it. When pressure comes, weak foundations are gonna crack. The more weight you put on the foundation, the more you find out what the foundation is made of. And if it's a weak foundation, it's going to crack. And so a lot of people you see that's cracking is because their foundation is weak. Unclear leaders become reactive when the pressure comes. If you're not clear on what you're supposed to be doing, you're not clear on your assignment, and you're not clear on who called you to do your assignment, and if you're not clear, you're going to become reactive, and you're going to start reacting to the things that people say, the things that people do, the way that people handle it. People become reactive because they're unclear on what kind of leader and who called them and what was their expectations as a leader. Unstable systems begin to shake when you have unstable systems. They shake. They shake when pressure comes. But here it is. But strong leaders remain steady even when the pressure comes. Pressure reveals your spiritual depth, how spiritual you are, your emotional stability, your leadership maturity. When you face pressure, you'll find out what kind of leader you are. And when you find out what kind of leader you'll find out what kind of foundation you've been built on. But if you build on a foundation of Jesus and on God, and you know that he called you and he gave you the assignment, he trusted you with the assignment, and that he then trusted you, then you can stand firm because you know that your foundation is sure. The foundation that you're built on is sure. Pressure does not destroy strong leaders. It exposes what they are built on. You need to know that the pressure does not destroy you if you're a strong leader, but it's going to expose what you are built on. So keep that in mind. Pressure reveals your foundation. Third thing is you must learn to release what you carry. 1 Peter 5:7, here it is. Cast all your anxieties on him because he cares for you. He said, learn of me, my yoke is easy, my burden is light. Yoke up with me so that I can help you carry and teach you how to walk through whatever it's going through. So you got to learn to release what you're carrying. A lot of people try to hold on. Many leaders carry things they were never meant to hold long term. You are carrying some things inside of you as a leader that you were never meant to hold on for long term. Too many of us are carrying seasonal things and try to hold them long term. And the season has shifted and changed, and we're still trying to hold on to things that burden us down. That we carry things that stress us, and we carry people's problems and emotional weight and eternal pressure. But leadership does not mean holding everything. Just because you're the leader, you don't have to hold on to everything. You have to learn how to release. When you're a leader, you learn how to release what you're carrying. It means you know what to carry and what to release. When you're when you get heavy, you got to learn what to release. And you got to learn what to carry. And you got to learn what to release. You must learn to release what you carry. If it's not for you, let it go. You were called to lead people, not to carry what only God can handle. Don't miss that. You were called to lead people, not what only God can handle. A lot of us are trying to hold on to and kind of handle things that only God can handle. We were only called to lead people. Number 4, strength is built through proper handling. Your strength is going to be built through proper handling. Isaiah 40:31 says, they who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. Your strength is not automatic. I know you thought it's just going to come. It's just going. Your strength is not automatic. It is developed through how you handle pressure. That's when you realize how strong how you handle pressure. Strength is when you go in the gym and you work out and you're working the muscles, you're lifting weight and your strength comes by how your muscles handle the weight and the pressure that's being put on them. Leaders grow stronger when they stay connected to God. You got to remember, you got to stay connected. You're getting in the flesh, leaders are getting in the flesh and trying to handle things, but you got to stay connected to God. You get stronger when you process pressure properly. You got to properly process the pressure that is coming. You got to remain consistent under the weight. You cannot change because the weight is getting heavy. You got to stay consistent. Stay connected to God. Listen to this. How you handle pressure determines how strong you will become as a leader. I said how you handle pressure determines how strong you become as a leader, because strength is only built through proper handling, and it's not automatic. So you must learn how to handle pressure, and that'll determine how strong you become as a leader. Here's the closing charge. Leadership will get heavy. There will be pressure. There will be weight. There will be responsibilities, but you don't have to be crushed by it. Carry what God gave you. Release what he didn't. Stay rooted. Stay connected. Because leaders who learn to carry weight properly lead with strength and stability. This is Kingdom Insight, Leadership Structure.